Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harv's World for episode 2 of Chellington Valley. Lucky to be alive, and I am lucky to be alive. Aren't we all really, though? But with that said, before we get started, I do want to address a situation that has arisen over the last couple of days. Chellington Valley has been pulled from Mod Hub due to a dispute between Oxygen David and Giants Software. Now, it's not my business. I'm not getting involved. I just wanted to inform you that as it stands right now, you cannot get Chellington Valley from Mod Hub, and it doesn't appear there will be future updates. However, I'm going to continue to play this because it is a beautiful map. Oxygen David is a fantastic map maker, and we'll move this along as best we can if I run into issues, and I know there are some issues. Anytime a new map is released and players start playing, they start finding things that need to be updated. But we'll do the best we can with what we have, and I'm sure everything will work out just fine. So, with that said, let's get started, shall we? Now, when last we met, I had spent my first day in Chellington Valley. I said I was going to the bed and breakfast, and I did, but it's out of my price range. However, I did stay and have some dinner. They've got a lovely little pub in there. I genuinely think you should stop in and give it a try if you're in the area sometime. And I did hang out for a few hours just to spend the rest of my day and relax a little bit. But when all was said and done, I came out here. I found this old abandoned farm buildings and just bedded down in here for the night. It was fine. No big deal. And I don't know if you can tell, but my money has shrunk significantly already in just one day. The biggest reason is that the medical bills are killing me. They are just outrageous. I mean, I'm paying basically 2,500 pounds a day in interest on the medical bills. On top of that, I decided it was important to have a form of communication, so I did spend about just over 450 pounds to pick up a cell phone. I knew I was going to need that because it's going to be much easier to find work, find equipment, the things that I might need in the future, especially the work. And of course, this is only day 2 here in Chellington, so I'm not finding the best contracts on the planet. You know, they don't know me yet. They're not willing to just hand over big equipment, let me operate it. However, this morning, a farmer by the name of Jack, I didn't catch his last name, but his name is definitely Jack, has a field that he would like mowed, turned into hay, baled up, and taken to Meadow Valley. So I accepted that contract. Like I've said, you know, these folks aren't quite willing and ready to hand over the biggest, most expensive equipment, but bales are bales. He's got a contract with the Meadow Valley. There's a farm down there apparently that he's working with or for, and they need some hay bales. He did tell me that the field would probably produce a lot more hay than what they're going to need. So he's got quite the array of equipment here, let me tell you. Very impressive. He did say that this field should produce more bales than what they need. It's field 77. And anything left over is mine to do with what I want. I thought that was pretty remarkable, actually. He's not fooling around with making these hay bales either. He has quite the rack of equipment there. For what I've been able to gather, his field should be in this direction. The real drawback here Look at that. How gorgeous. This place is amazing. I could have found worse places to call home. Let me tell you. Much worse places. Look at that giant estate down there. How fantastic is that? Might have to go visit. Let's see. Chellington Manor House. Very impressive. Very impressive indeed. Let's double check my map and see where I'm going. Okay, yeah, I should just take this right turn, take this lane right through here. It doesn't say it's a one-way lane, but you're not going to get much down this lane. It does seem a nice little shortcut. One thing that I've noticed, there are an awful lot of weeds around. People let the weeds get into their fields. Well, that's their business. What do I care? I'm just trying to work for them. I just need the work. I'm happy to have it and I'm happy to do it. Okay, this should be my field coming up right here. Now the question is, how do I get in there? Not like that. Okay. The entrance must be around. Must be up this lane here. This is where the bales are going. This is the farm he was talking about. So this field is right off of this farm. That's going to be very handy. We are going to mow like the wind. Oh yes. Every blade of grass I can get off of this area. I guess Farmer Jack here had been talking to Mr. Jennings, the man whose field I harvested yesterday, and well, they Mr. Jennings was kind enough, I should say, to recommend me. Farmer Jack said he heard that I work hard and get the job done as quickly as possible, and I said, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. I do exactly that, sir. We have to maintain our humility. Because the last thing anybody wants to deal with is an arrogant fool. Myself included. This is a good sized little field. I mean, it's smallish, but still a decent size. With a little luck, this will net me just over 4,500 pounds or so once the contract is complete. And he did say I could have any leftover bales once his responsibilities were taken care of, which I thought was incredibly generous of him. I like the way these farmers work. They're always willing to, you know, if you do a job, they're going to offer you a wage, but at the same time, they'll sit there and go, you know, if you work hard and get it done early and get what I need done, then you can have a little bit of extra for yourself. So hopefully that'll work itself out, and that's why I'm going to get every blade of grass off this field that I can. Because the bottom line is, the more bales there are, the more likely it is that I'll have some extra money in my pocket. And if I can get some extra money in my pocket and get ahead a little bit, maybe I can get some real transportation that I can start using to do jobs of my own. And that would be incredibly helpful. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem working for somebody, but it's far, far better to work for yourself, from my experience anyway. Far better indeed. That's my take on it, at least. Okay, that's about the mowing, and that wasn't too bad. I think I'm going to do one more trek right around the edge just to make sure that I can, if there's any more I can get, I want to get it. So if he's going to let me have some of this, I'm going to make sure that I've got every bit of it that I can get here. Maybe that was his goal, you know? Maybe that was his way of making sure the job got done completely. Was saying, hey, you can have anything that's left over. Maybe that's the whole point of all of this. Maybe that's what all these farmers do. They're just trying to make sure you get everything done. I actually think I've nailed this pretty well. This edge right here might net me a little bit more. We'll see. Oh yeah, see? That could be half or a quarter of a bale right there. That could end up in my pocket. Yeah, we're getting a good little bit down here too, so yep, glad I came back down through here. Okay, I'm sure that's gonna wrap it up. So, phase 1 of this little job is done. Outstanding. Time to keep on trucking. Let's see, what are we going to do? We got a tedder, we got a windrow, we have to bale, and we have to transport. Well, I have to do all of those things. And that's what I want to do. pucky. I'm so close to having one extra bale. I just need another 700 liters of grass, and I don't have it. Hay, I should say. Nope. There's just not. I got it all. I was efficient. This little field produced a good number of bales, let me tell you. I hope that bodes well for me. We're going to find out. I just got to run this baler back to the shop. Ah! Maybe I should do this. Anyway, yeah, I'll tell you, the grass around here is apparently incredibly moist. Because getting it to turn to hay took a lot of tedding. Or tethering. Or whatever you want to call it. No, it's tedding. I know it is. No, I had to cover that field 3 times with the tedder before it would turn to grass. Or I had to go over that field 3 times before the grass would turn to hay. So there must have been a lot of moisture in it. And so the job has taken me quite a bit longer than I anticipated. But we're going to get it done at least. I got to run back to the shop. I have to pick up, there's a trailer down there that I can use to load these bales. Then I can deliver them, see where we stand at that point. I'm kind of very intrigued to see. Now, something that I had forgotten to tell you about, I meant to, is while I was at the pub last night, I did meet a young lady by the name of Marilyn Hall. And Marilyn, well, she's in her 60s, 60 plus years young, silver haired. And, not that that matters or anything, but she was very nice. She had stopped in for some dinner. She's not a drinker. She doesn't drink, but she likes the food at the pub, so that is how she ended up there. Anyway, she listened to my story. I kind of told her where I'd been, where I'd come from, all of that kind of stuff, and well, I explained to her that, you know, I've got these medical bills that got to be taken care of, but I do need to keep myself going. And one thing that was really going to move me along, and I think my first goal has to be to get some kind of a personal vehicle. And so, as it turns out, she's got a son-in-law who just happens to have an old farm truck for sale. And she said, you know, it's not in great shape or anything. It's pretty beat up. I'd probably need to do some work on it, but it's just right around 5,000 pounds. So you can't beat the price. And that could be a really good start. So I told her I'd think about it because obviously I don't have the money now. But I really think that having that type of vehicle is going to help me start moving forward. I know. The living situation will sort itself out. It really will. I'm not as concerned about that as I am about just having a way to get around. There is no public transportation here that I can see. Unless you count the hayride, well, that only travels around the field by the circus. So I don't think that's going to get me very far. But yeah, some cheap, reliable vehicle for my personal use is definitely on the horizon, and it sounded, she made it sound awfully good, so we'll see. we'll see how that sorts itself out. Right now, I just want to get this job done. And I'm very, very happy to see this trailer that he's provided here. Because this is going to make life much simpler. Much, much simpler. See what I mean? I think this will hold 16. And we might have double that on this field. I don't think we've quite got 32, but we do have quite a few. Oh, thought I missed that one and ended up getting it after all. Yeah, man, that grass was wet. Really, really wet. I kind of just get the impression it's the climate here that causes that more than anything. I imagine any kind of hay making around here would take the same amount of tedding. Yes, I know it's tedding. So yeah, I've been, well, you know, good first day. Been here for, what, just over 24 hours. I've already met Marilyn. I've met Maxwell, who's the owner of the pub. Farmer Jack, who's given me work today. Yeah, looks like one more bale's going to do us here. And then we don't quite have another load, a second load. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 8, half a load. And then the delivery point for these should be just right up here. Wonder, I think it's right in there, and I wonder if I could swing this trailer just right on around and then back it in. If not, well, I'll sort it out one way or another. Just barely enough room. Just barely, but we got it. We got it. Such a handy trailer. Maybe. It may be too tall. I wonder what happens if I just tell it to unload here. Huh. We might have to push them in manually. Let's see if I can just nudge them backwards. I took half of them. Ha-ha! Oh, well, look at that. Contract finished. There's one extra bale here, and I'm not going to try to muck around with it. So $231, but I know I called around a little bit. called around just a little bit to see if there was a better price for hay somewhere, and I did find a better price. So I'm going to pick up the rest of these bales and go deliver them to that location because, well, why wouldn't I? Why would I take less money when I don't have to? Farmer Jack has what he needs. We got 9 bales for ourselves out of this. I got 9 bales for myself out of this. I'm not sure why I always talk in our. We. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. What's important, to me at least, is that the funds are flowing in. It's 4:30 going on 5 o'clock. It looks like this is going to be about what I'll be able to get done for today. Which is just a little bit of a bummer, but hey, it is what it is. So the place that is going to give me a better price for these bales than the barn here. You remember this morning when I was walking to the main, or to the shop to pick up the equipment for this contract, and I walked through that parking lot? Well, that's the spot. So not only am I going to be able to deliver these bales, I'm going to be close to the buildings I'm calling home. Home for the present, anyway. Again, that will sort itself out. Although home may not be the best destination because I am going to need to go find something to eat, but, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So I need $2,500 to pay the interest. Let's see what these 8 bales pay me. Collect my money from Farmer Jack. ASAP. I don't want to do that yet because I don't want him to change his mind about these bales. If he finds out how many there are, maybe he won't be happy. You know what I'm saying. I'm almost there anyway, so it won't be long now. Still got done before 5 o'clock. I did get a little bit of a late start. It was after 9. I'm going to have to start getting out of bed earlier. Here we go, right here. With a little bit of luck, this will pay me maybe another $1,500 or so. I got it right in there. Oh, 1,900. 1,987, an extra $2,000. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Run this back over to the shop. Run in, talk to the guys for a minute. They're starting to know who I am. Which is a good thing. The more people can put a face to a name, the better chances you have, especially when you start building your reputation, the better chance you have of getting better jobs. But the first 2 days here in Chellington, I think I've done a fine job of beginning to build my reputation here. Fingers crossed. Turn those beacons off. Go in and have a chat. Well, just over $4,000. That contract paid just over $4,000. I'm up to $7,914. Pounds. 7,914 pounds. That was a very lucrative day. And as I was saying, well, I sold my sold my bales over by the well, where I've kind of hiding out at night, sleeping. But I think I'm going to go back into town. It is dinner time. And I think that's going to do it for this episode of Chellington Valley. Lucky to be alive. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, do me a favor. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.